I'm Takeshi, and you're watching Kojima Racing. Okay, this is the introduction and walk around to the second vehicle on my channel. Let's get started. So this is my 2018 Mustang GT Performance Package 1, and it has the 10-speed automatic. I call this car Black Beauty because I bought it to be my wife's daily driver, and she's not really a stick shift kind of girl, so the automatic was better for that. In addition, I had done a bit of research on the cars, and the automatic transmission cars were half a second quicker in the quarter mile, so very efficient automatic, which the technology has improved significantly since back in the days of Fox body Mustangs. And I've always been a stick shift kind of guy, but getting into this car and driving it, I was thoroughly impressed. Like I said, this car is our family car. So we had a Ford Fusion with the sport package, and my son got to be driving age, and we got him a car and his driver's license, so we only have one child now that we transport around daily, and so thought we could use something a little more fun and something that would keep my family engaged in Mustang and car culture that I'm into, so that they can participate with me. So this is the car to do that. Like I said, it's daily driven. My wife is a preschool teacher, so she takes it to school every day, and transporting school projects, and there's glitter and bubble gum and crayons and all that sort of thing in the car, and so it really is used with the intention of using it for what its purpose is, which is, to be driven and be used. But having said all that, like I said, I'm thoroughly impressed with the performance of these modern Mustangs, and that's why I wanted one. And to put it in perspective, this car is a full second quicker in the quarter mile than my former dedicated drag car, and that's on street radials. These are Michelin PS4S tires, which are really good. And this car has the performance package on it. That's why it has 19-inch wheels with the Michelin PS4Ss on it. So I was trying to get the best performance bang for the buck when I bought the car, and that's why it's not a premium model. It's just the base model, but it does have the upgrade of the automatic transmission and the Performance Pack 1 on it, or PP1. So it's a PP1 car. That didn't change anything with the engines. It just gave it these enormous Brembo brakes on the front of it, the 19-inch wheels, which are staggered, and the PS4S tires. The fronts are 255/40 19s. The backs are 275/40 19s. So it's a considerably large tire, and they do give a lot of traction. Part of the PP1 package is that spoiler, which I really like the appearance of, and the wheels. I might add, I really like the appearance of the wheels. So the whole Performance Package 1 is a very attractive looking package in addition. But once again, this is a base model car, so it did not have the MagnaRide, or the Ford's version of the Theo Magnological damping system. And due to that, they did actually put into these cars quite a bit of negative camber to make them handle as well as the MagnaRide cars, or close to it, which is a little bit aggressive for daily driving. And we've taken this car all over the place. My daughter is a competitive cheerleader, so we go to cheer comps all over the Pacific Northwest, and even as far away as Las Vegas. In fact, this car's been there 3 times. So like I said, it's a 2018, so it's about 4 years old, a little over 4 years old. And it probably has, I think, about 45,000 miles on it. So it's been driven, it's been used significantly. The tires are expensive, and these particular tires are new in the front. Due to that negative camber setup that makes it handle a lot better, it wears the tires on the probably inside ½ inch only prematurely. And so this is the 3rd set of tires in 45,000 miles on this car. So, and like I said, these tires are brand new in the front. The back, that's the 2nd set of tires on the back, which you would think that the backs would wear out much more quickly than the fronts, but that's not the case because of the negative camber adjustment. Which, when I had the 2nd set of tires put on here, I actually bought the cam bolt kit to try and neutral out the negative camber in the front of the vehicle, and it only worked so well. It still burns up the tires in the front more quickly than prematurely, more quickly than they should. And but it still handles really well as well. And so that's not not something that has taken away from the handling, reducing the camber on it. So I don't know why they did that so extreme, where you couldn't adjust it out with the factory adjustments. So I imagine the MagnaRide cars handle better. And my other new car, that one has the MagnaRide on it. And so the benefit of the MagnaRide is that it's an active type of suspension, so it can basically adjust itself to the road surface. It has presets on it, but it also reads the road a ridiculous amount of times per second, and it adapts the suspension to the road, which gives you better road holding, and then it also improves the ride too. So you get kind of the best of both worlds. You get a better quality ride and significantly better handling. Whereas with this car, like I said, doesn't have it. These wheels are really large, and the tires are extremely low profile. This is typically something that was found only on European cars like Porsches and Lamborghinis and such. And like I said, we've daily driven this car, even in the wintertime. The stability management and traction control on these cars are really fantastic. They work really incredibly well. This car has 460 horsepower and about 420 foot-pounds of torque, and you can drive it in the snow. In fact, I took it all the way up to the Canadian border in the middle of a winter storm when they weren't plowing the roads, and it actually did significantly well for a rear-wheel drive car with monstrous tires on it like this. I might add that I did purchase, before I left, these European style chains that are for cars that have low profile tires and big wheels, and these are they're pretty neat. They're really easy to put on, and they actually work decently well. But I didn't actually have to use them on the car at all when we were driving on the highway. It was only when we had stayed in a hotel parking lot overnight, and there was so much snow in the parking lots that weren't plowed that I had to put the chains on just to get out of the parking lot. So But yeah, so it's a GT PP1 car. Like I said, it's got the 5-liter V8 and the 10-speed transmission. 460 horsepower, about 425 foot-pounds of torque. This car runs high 11s in the quarter mile. I believe somebody has gotten it to run a 10.8, or excuse me, 11.8 in the quarter mile on the factory tires, which is a full second quicker than my drag car on slicks. So, they're quite the performer. And I might add that the automatic transmission, that 10-speed automatic transmission, is a very engaging transmission. It has paddle shifters on it, and you can put it in sport mode, and then you can shift it manually, which I've never felt the need to do because the car is so intuitive. The telematics know exactly what gear to put the car in, and with 10 gears it's always in the torque band. And so pretty fantastic, and that's coming from somebody that had preferred manual transmission vehicles, so much so that I even swapped that over to a manual transmission, which we'll get into that when we do the walk around on that truck. But yeah, so it's a fabric interior, cloth interior, and it doesn't have the my color gauges. It's analog gauges, but kind of a neat little feature, which I'm sure you can't see because it's not very well lit in here. But in the actual gauge cluster, it says ground speed, and that's just a little tip of the hat to the aircraft that Mustang is named after, which was a P-51 Mustang. A lot of people think it's just named after the horse, but they were named after aircraft. And then it says revolutions per minute, and it actually is spelled out in the gauge cluster, so it's kind of neat. It's got this little engine spun surface in here. Actually has a vacuum and oil pressure gauge, which is nice. I did not get the Mach 460 or whatever they call it sound system either, because it was too expensive of an upgrade. The car does have, full power package. It has sync, and it has a CD player, and can hook to your phone and all that sort of thing. And so that's good enough for me, and I figured I could upgrade more affordably than getting a car that was optioned with the Mach 460 sound system. So what I've done is I put something in here because, like I said before, I do like my music, my wife as well. And so this has a Kicker Soliberic L7 subwoofer in it that has been integrated into the factory sound system, and a Kicker 2400 watt amp to power it. So it sounds pretty good. I imagine it sounds a little bit better than the Mach 460 sound system, and it was less money than getting a car that was optioned with that setup. A lot of people complain about the hard plastics inside of these Mustang GTs. I think it's great because they're extremely durable. I mean, a lot of times people rest their elbows on door panels, and the leather or vinyl or soft surfaces will crack and start to fall apart, and so you don't get that with this. It's very durable. Kids getting in and out, like I said, glitter, bubble gum and all that sort of thing, and crayons and such. But this is a very durable interior, and so I like it. It's still comfortable. The seats are very comfortable, and it has all the power functions and features on it, so it's pretty decent. We'll show you under the hood real quick. This is the, I believe, 3rd generation 5.0 liter And these 5 liters, one of the reasons I liked this particular engine so much is because it is in fact a true 5 liter. So the displacement is in fact five full liters. It's not rounded up like most 5.0s. This was the first year for this particular generation of 5.0, which it has the direct injection and port injection both, which raised the horsepower rating up from the previous 420 horsepower to 460 horsepower. And I think it was a considerable jump in the torque rating as well, because like I said, it's about 425 or 420 pound-feet of torque. And so and they're pretty torquey. Good powerful engine. This car accelerates like nobody's business, and it actually handles quite well. In addition to that, it has really sharp throttle response, and I'm sure that has something to do with it having 10 speeds on it. And then but it's also very docile and very drivable, so my wife can drive it around, and it's comfortable and not too jerky or anything like that, or not too torquey, that you get yourself in trouble with it. And so and quite a contrast to this vehicle, which we'll get into that a little bit later. Here's my son's Mustang, which we'll do walk-arounds on all the other vehicles. But for now, I think that's pretty much it on this one. We will still be using this on the channel for probably drag racing and a number of other things. So, if you're into any of this kind of stuff, the Mustangs, drag racing, possibly autocrossing, any of that sort of fun, please like and subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for more content and the walk-arounds on the rest of the vehicles. In addition to, if you stay tuned right after this, I'll give a little sneak peek preview of something that's coming up here pretty quickly. So there you have it. All right, so measuring from the beginning of the strip down there, the paved surface of the airstrip, coming up here to this location is a quarter mile. It's 1,320 feet exactly, right before this first return road. And you can see the structures start there. So those are all the structures back on that side. So we're going to have K-rail from the beginning all the way down the side, all the way up until even with the last structure over there, and K-rail all the way down that side to here, so that all those structures are protected. All that is run out. So anybody gets off the track and they end up out here, and it's basically a natural sand trap. And so then there's all the distance from here on. This will be the finish line. So all the distance from here on for people to run off, and I'm going to measure that, and we'll see how much it is. So another video.